Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik, and this is a game 1, the Pacific Advance Edition. This is my play-by-email match against AsuRob, he's Allied Commander, and for me, this Empire of Japan. It's now November 24th, 42. Situation at Rockhampton getting a little more critical. But the rest of the map is so far under control. But I saw before already some Navy search, and now you can see there's some bombardment in the north end of the island chain. Enemy battleships, heavy cruisers, everything is here. A lot of firepower. This is a Navy night bombardment. Okay. Shelling my base. I have some guns here, but they are not built for this kind of engagement. Now there are some destroyers. And this is now a pre-invasion action. So that is a support for landing at the beaches. So the battleships more or less silent my guns because I have here some coastal batteries, so that the landing itself was relatively successful. You can also see that this is a Marine division, so they are more lightly built and they have maybe enough preparation that they don't really lose a lot of equipment. I mean, they're disabled but not destroyed. That is must. He is now one hit on a cargo ship, but maybe this was only with supplies. And the amount of investment Rob is using to attack here, I could assume now that there's really something bigger coming. This Strasbourg, I think I only used the wrong graphic. So Strasbourg and Dunkirk is both here. There's not much I can do to stop this kind. There's even more coming now, or more at least of the 3rd Marine Division. Some tanks. I will simply prepare to see if I can counterattack in 1 or 2 weeks. But first I need to get the equipment in position. And we see how aggressive Rob is trying to take over this island. If this is a high value target, if this is important for the Allies, hard to say. It's very remote, very easy to defend for the Japanese once you have your equipment in position and far off from any other base for the Allies, so it would not be my choice, let's say this. Shelling, striking, creating terror, I would accept, but landing here, I'm not so sure. Anyway, so there's more landing forces coming. My guns are more or less all silent. Some hits on Dunkirk, but they will not penetrate the armor. One more shell on San Diego. The islands are at the end only the outer defense parameter for the northern Japanese convoys. So that is now under threat, and I must maybe stop all shipping Just the counterattacks. Standard stuff here. Depending on the weather and how many enemies are the hex, it's more or less successful. Tojos, dropping the 100 kilo bombs. This is the smallest bomb is maybe really creating damage. Bundeberg. The hex south of Bundeberg. I kept against my... These are my troopers. They are now, I think, with the hex with the British India division. I have here still Tojo 2Cs and Oscar 1Cs. The 1Cs are really only the meat shield. But it's enough to wipe out or at least defeat this light medium bomber strike. Now nothing more left to stop the liberators. Which is coming not really low, but still in range of my heavy flag. So some units have still enough ammunition and supplies to use the flak guns. This is always the... If there's no flak more, then you really know that the defender has no supplies more, then it's time to crush them. Mostly here now supplies unloading. So I have a lot of air power in Japan, but not really anything for surface engagement. At first I tried to overcome here the block. Not today, maybe so. This bigger Chinese army is still under siege. There's thousands of troopers, but no supplies, no power left. Imphal, next attempt to storm, and I take the city. So that was really the last potential threat, I would say, even normally not more. But there's now no air power more possible to potentially threaten my army movement. A lot of equipment destroyed, still some are forced out. Now it's allies attacking me. You can see that I have only this mixed brigade and the two divisions really holding. The enemy is not so powerful, it's really, I would say, mainly the tank units and the one division pushing here, plus maybe the British brigade. But the problem is still that I have more attack power raw, but after calculations it's less. This is simply because high destruction and supply issues. Still, so this is more or less manpower, but the manpower never calculates the vehicles, so you can see I have a lot of destroyed vehicles, could also be trucks. In defense, I think if you're striking, it's less likely that you consume trucks and maybe really tanks. So for the Allies, there are a lot of their tanks getting disabled. So the Allies losing a lot of attack power, but I don't know how long I can hold the line with no supplies. At least there's now a new hotspot on the map. India is cooling down. North of Australia is already inactive. So all focus is now on around Rockhampton and here at the border to Russia. But first, my successful cap over my troopers in India. Not too high losses today for the Allies. 18-3. No, not this one. So I left one killed pilot. Okay. There was no sinking sound. No. So the Allies are successfully more or less trashing this outer base, and I was just starting to really invest in this area because it was the lowest priority for me. So I have fort level 3, this I did already, but I was not finished with with building the port and the airfield and getting here more troopers. So I have here only the standard Navy, SCAD, plus some airfield and this coastal gun stuff. What is here? Anyway. So you have here 24 centimeter guns. They are powerful. 9-inch and something. 9.4 inch or something like this. But only 4 guns at the end. So scoring a hit with this gun would be powerful, but only if it's not a battleship or something like this. Anyway, you can see that the disruption is very high. And more or less the only fighting force is... the fighting forces are okay, but the base force and the guns, they are getting shelled. So the infantry is ready for defense, but it's only nothing strong enough to really hold out against a tank or full division. And here is no one. So I guess I will lose this islands. This is maybe okay, give it away. And then I will try to hold here, even if I lose this base. Here's more or less the same. It would be still acceptable, but this would be dangerous close to my resource centers. But I will shift air power here to first make sure that no Allied ships are coming here for North Japan Hokkaido. Yeah. So the new hotspot is here. And here in the source, Rockhampton, no supplies. And the supplies could only come from Townsville, but Townsville itself is also close to only standard supplies. Bundaberg is also out of supplies, so the flow of supplies to Rockhampton is nearly impossible now. There will be some supplies coming down, but maybe not enough. At the same time, I also have here some armor and infantry units busy trying to stop this closing this northern base. I have here this one tank regiment is trying to take Cooktown, and the infantry and tank units must normally take Chance, whatever you want to pronounce it. So I'm waiting for reinforcements and supplies. Where are they coming? I don't know. Darwin is now fine, so here this issue is more or less closed. The supplies will slowly going south, Tennant Creek. But I maybe also must shift here manpower from this area to the east. I need more support and fighting force. So you can see I have only 70,000. There is nothing to ship out from Japan. I need triple 28,000, so it's not even enough. I already have under triple supply in Tokyo. And if this is the case, then you always can see that you don't get training. If you don't have at least a triple supply request, then training will be more or less reduced. I don't say it will completely stop, but you will have less likely full training, only partly training. It's easy to see that your training squadrons don't have fatigue. Good, then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.